there was a video circulating on the web. I forgot who was speaking about it particularly. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to X City to go listen to the Andre 3000 album. And people were like, what? And he's like, yeah, he has an album coming out. And people were like, huh? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. It's the sound bites portion of album mode. I'm starting to feel like this is my favorite part.
For sure. For sure.
Where we're here talking about the music, the culture, and all the things that are wrapped up in the music and the culture on the internet. I'm here as Démar Grant, a.k.a. King Grant. And I'm also here with Adriel Smiley, a.k.a. Adriel Smiley Official, a.k.a. The Adriel Smiley, a.k.a. Mr. Smiley. Adriel, how are you doing today? We're back, but we're talking about episode 3 of The Idol. Somehow we're still talking about this show.
The Idol is probably the best hate watch the internet has had in years.
Yes, it is.
In years. The Idol's been crazy, man. Like, I told you after episode 2, I kind of have removed myself from caring what Joss does. I'm just like, she's about to make every bad decision possible. She did make one good decision in this episode, which I do give her credit for. But the episode was rough to watch. Yeah. What's been going online a lot that we've been talking about, and I actually been sending this tweet to a lot of people, is when the Weeknd, Tedros, and Joss and her manager, her assistant, they go shopping. It seemed like Tedros calls the paparazzi, which is super sus move. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that, which is so ridiculous to me. But while they're shopping, he kind of gets aggressive, one of the shop owners, and it's like, if you look at my girl again, I'll fucking curb stomp you.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll kill you. and
stop looking at her. Why are you looking at her? Stop.
My favorite thing from that is someone said, imagine being threatened by someone named Abel.
Oh my God. That scene is probably... that scene is like a double-edged sword, which I feel like is this entire show, is that it's so ridiculous and hilarious. It's hilarious, actually. But it's hilarious like in a bad way, where it's like, I don't feel threatened at all. But I've definitely seen / met a dude that was like Tedros before.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like, there's dudes like him that exist. And I think that there's a little bit of a disconnect with the audience and the show, where it's like, people like Tedros actually exist.
Real life.
Right? These these weirdo dudes, right? Just weird in so many different ways.
I think that's the show's charm in this episode, but continue.
Right. Like, there's these weirdo people exist, especially in the music industry. Oh my God.
We can attest, yes.
Right? So I feel like people who are not that close to the music industry are like, yo, this guy's like a weirdo. Why would you ever be seduced by him?
I see what you're saying.
All this type of stuff. But then if you're like, I would say we're music industry adjacent. These people exist, and we're just seeing another one of them on TV.
Yeah, someone had a tweet and they said, if you have ever met this guy, this triggered you. And it was, and it's like, that is what I think about this show that makes it so cringy. Is so much of this stuff is spot on. Even Tedros' friend, who seems to be like overly sexually aggressive at all times, we know that guy too. Yeah, that guy who is the free thinker, but also the yes man. We know exactly who. I think some of these characters are so spot on. My main issue, and we're gonna get to that dinner scene, 'cause I think that's the main thing to talk about when it comes to this episode, is that we don't have enough background on Joss. You said it last time. Why is she choking herself? What's behind that? What's she been through? And I think this episode, I felt like that even more, because we don't know how sheltered she is. We don't know what kind of like home life she had growing up. She talks about it more in the dinner scene, talking about her mom being abusive and how she misses it, which is pretty sad. But we don't have a background of like how she is as like a young 20-something-year-old. Because we all know, us in our early 20s, everyone is different in early 20s. Like, you're doing a lot of growing up. Either you ain't been outside enough or you've been outside too much. And, people are all in different places. So we don't have that context of where she, is in that. Like, this happened all the time. Is it always people at her crib? Or does she always have a new group of friends that she meets in 8 days? So I think that is what we need to know more about. But let's talk about that dinner scene. What were your thoughts when that was happening? when Tedros basically was grilling her and going, why?
I think that scene. I think that scene is like good for the character development of Joss. Is awkward, but like it's supposed to be awkward.
Yes.
Right? Because Tedros, aka The Weeknd, is like confronting her specifically about like childhood trauma in front of like 10 other people.
Which that part was crazy to me.
Yeah. And like breaking her down brick by brick in that scenario. So I was like, for the character development, I was like, okay, this is kind of like, it's interesting, it's cool, it makes sense. But it still goes back to like, do I want to see it though? Like, do I still want to squirm in it all the time? And I'm like, I'm not sure. And I feel like her relationship with her mother can be, could have been more massaged into the story versus her explicitly saying it out loud to the audience. This is why I'm a broken person. Here you go. There could have there's no other way to finesse that story wise. Yeah. I feel like that was just like something that they could have, that it was so on the nose, I guess.
Yeah, they just made it very overt. They didn't massage it in through the episodes. I think it worked for the fact of how she is with her assistant and the person who Troye Sivan plays. I don't remember his name.
Right.
But them not stepping in, or why didn't they help her out, that kind of thing. And, kind of planting the seed of maybe they're yes men. And Tedros is kind of the whole idea of,
he's the person who's like, I would have been there in for you. I would have stepped in front. I would have stopped it, blah, blah, blah.
I take risks, he says.
Yeah.
And then, what followed afterwards of her getting over her trauma through Tedros, which I thought was so fucking weird. But I didn't even realize this at the time, and this is part of maybe my understanding. But when he says, no one at this table will love you any less, and I'll still love you, or whatever he says to get her to open up. And I was like, oh, that's love bombing.
Yeah.
The internet taught me that term. I saw it in real life during the show. So I thought that was cool to see the internet and just kind of come together at that point.
Yeah, and even like him allegedly calling the paparazzi to show up at the store is part of it, Like here, anytime she's around him, feels ecstatic. It feels great. Everything is fantastic when he's around, And then there's that scene where he gets the brush, and I'm not. Are we sure of what happened with when he had the brush?
So what do you think happened?
I don't know. I have some thoughts of people being hit.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay. And then let's
leave it at that.
Let's continue to assume that.
But with Tedros, we never know.
Yeah, but with Tedros, it could have been a more sexual experience. Let's say.
Yes.
Because he was standing behind her, and it was in a very weird position. Right.
Maybe this will show up later.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm assuming it was hit too. I think that all this stuff with Tedros is pretty weird to me, and I really don't like that dynamic at all. And this is my prediction for the rest of the season before we get into the song of the summer. I think ultimately, whether it's an EP, whatever it is, and I really hope they don't just make one song with this. Like, it's not camp rock. I hope they really make more than one song out of all this time that they have now. But I think they're going to make great music, and it's going to be like, how much do we hate Tedros after he helps her kind of save her career? And I think that the picture at the beginning they're gonna actually do that idea of making it an album cover or something. Yeah. Which the way they were describing it, this is so off base, but I thought it was gonna be way worse.
Oh, really? How?
That's bad, obviously. Yeah. But how they were describing it, like they were describing it like it was like plastered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like not just a little drip drip. So in that sense, every time they say it, I think back to what I had in my mind of it being like she's basically unidentifiable. Yeah. And then compared to what it actually was, still bad, but the way they described it was way worse. But that's my prediction. I think they're going to end up making great music. And I think they will try and find a way for us to hate Tedros less.
Right.
When he ends up helping her with her career. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen too. I think that it's like, but you could also see that her management team, they kind of like, they don't trust, like they understand, I feel like they understand who he is. Like he's like this weirdo creeper type
more than
dude.
She does.
Yes, much more than she does. Everybody does, except for her.
Yeah.
Right? But they're also like, oh, we're going to get 3 songs out of it? Sweet. And that's all they care about, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody, because even the dude, the older guy, I believe is her manager, he's leveraged on the house. He's paying half the mortgage, right? So for him, it really is like, yo, I need to get the money back, bro. Yeah. I need to get the money. So however the money comes through, as long as the check clears, I'm a happy man.
And they're putting that pressure on her.
You're right. Yeah, because they even told her to her face, it's like,
you can't fail.
You can't fail. It's do or die. Like nobody believes in you. Like he said that to her face.
Crazy.
Right? So it's going to be tough. I do think there's going to be 3 songs and they're probably going to be good, but then we're going to be like, at what cost? Is it really worth it? How much is he getting out of it? Who are all these random people that are moving into your house? Why is the black guy constantly there now? Why is that other blonde woman always naked and always there as well?
Always.
Tedros is like, I should move in. He said that while they were laying in bed. Like it's getting, the claws are just like, it's sinking in. So I'm honestly looking forward to the next episode, which I didn't think I would be saying that up until this moment.
But no, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
For us to, get over the cringe.
Right.
And now we're looking forward to it. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, how there is no song of the summer yet. Thinking about the songs of the summer, my suggestions for what I think, and these are kind of what I think will be the song. I have what I want to be the song, but these are kind of what I think it could be. You mentioned that none of the heavy hitters, have that song yet. And I was looking at songs that are already on the charts when I was thinking about this.
Yeah. Already
on the charts. And again, a lot of heavy hitters on those charts. You see the random person in there who's kind of new to the charts, but it's the same group of people. One from that group is Put That on the Floor Again with Lotto and Cardi B.
Okay.
I think that just, women in hip hop, song of the summer go together, man. Like,
absolutely.
Real hot girl shit.
Yep.
Is really going down. And I think that one actually sonically is one of the better ones. Lotto, I think, kills her part of the song. And anytime Cardi B comes down a verse, that's kind of almost guaranteeing you they may play your whole song. So if you kind of have that built in, it's going to play your whole song because Cardi B's on the last half, that's a good candidate. So that's my number one. The second one I have is one that you had as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you get to it. And if you don't, then I'll mention it.
Okay.
But my last one is Burna Boy, Top of the World. Again with a 90s sample.
Okay.
It's very, very similar to the original, which I thought would hurt it in a sense. But I listened to them back to back. I think his has a different tempo that makes it work.
Right.
And this is one thing I can say for certain. When I'm outside and Burna Boy comes on, everybody starts screaming.
That's true.
And he has had the song of the summer a couple times. And he's now like baked into like, the set at a black party, at a dancehall party. Like he's baked in. You can't go without playing at least 2 Burna Boy songs. And so I think that helps having the song of the summer because you're already in the set. No matter what, if he doesn't put music out again, he will always be in the set. So I think that helps. So Top of the World by Burna Boy, and then Lotto and Cardi B, Put That on the Floor Again, are my 2, and I'm assuming you're going to say what my third is.
Okay.
And maybe the third will be what the actual answer is since we both have it.
Okay. I think, so one of mine, right, which is I've been watching Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like everybody on planet Earth is watching Spider-Man right now. And one of the most popular tracks to come out of it is Mona Lisa by Dominic Fike.
Yeah.
It's very breezy. It's a great acoustic number. I think that there's a lot of, I don't know, it's just like so light. And also the popularity of the movie, I think, is going to propel it. Right? I think everybody loves this movie. They love that scene where Gwen and Miles are swinging in New York. Seeing it on TikTok. I'm hearing the song, in so many different places. So I think that Mona Lisa,
that's a good one,
by Dominic Fike. Also, Dominic Fike dropping a new album 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is going to be, I feel like, even more propulsion.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So I feel like Mona Lisa is kind of like gonna be bubbling, and then it'll finally have that like push, kind of like chicken fingers, I think, or chicken
tenders.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's like he kind of has like these one-offs that just start to like gain a ton of popularity, and I think Mona Lisa would be one of them. My second one is Sprinter.
Yep, that was mine.
Sprinter by Dave and Central C. It keeps growing. It keeps growing on YouTube. People keep talking about it. The React channels are all over it. I feel like it's like one of those tracks that it has the star power, right? And it just needs a little bit more time in the oven for it to really burst through. There is currently no song of the summer. We can say that pretty easily right now.
Yes.
Right? So that is another one where I'm like, I feel like people will just be catching onto it, and they'll just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. And then it gets to a point where like all everybody plays is Sprinter. Right? Great vibe. Central C, Dave, again, it's a star-studded duo. It actually sounds really fucking good. The raps are good. There's things layered in it. The only thing that's holding it back is that sugar hook, like the earworm hook is the only thing that's holding it back. And there is another one. It's a dancehall track that I cannot remember the name of. I can't find.
Sing it for us.
I can't. It's a very light dancehall track, but it has this murderous type of lyrics to it, and I can't remember the name of it right now.
Damn.
Right? I've been searching.
You're not gonna give us a cappella.
I couldn't even sing it. I've been searching for it, and for our listeners out there, if you can find it, send it to me. Then we'll do some TikTok chicanery, and then it'll be nice and featured in our TikTok.
I wonder what it is. I have a few songs in my dancehall playlist.
Right.
And I'll say this.
It's new. Came out like a month ago. 2 months ago.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's new.
I think that there are a few dancehall songs of the summer that are already out. This one I don't even call Song of the Summer because this song came out at the beginning of the year, but Taliban's.
Yes.
Taliban's.
Yeah, Taliban's.
Taliban's has been out all year. Right. Taliban's is already the song of the summer, I would say. Like,
okay,
but here's the thing: is like obviously a lot of people who are not dancehall fans, and so they may not have known the song at all. It only has 9 million plays on Spotify. Yeah. But when this song comes on, I promise you've been out and heard it and seen the reaction of the black folks around you.
Yeah.
And Taliban's. People are already getting tired of it because it's been this like popular kind of since it came out in January.
But it needs that summer crossover for it to really break through.
And it's already there. It's one of those songs you can play the beginning and pull up a few times and get that energy. And so I think that really helps a song of the summer. So yeah, Byron Messiah actually just got in an accident a couple of days ago. So hope he's doing okay. But Taliban's is up there. I thought that was my honorable mention. It's crazy you put that because when you said dancehall, I literally knew. I'm like, it has to be Taliban's. There's no other song that could be above that.
The reason why I'm also mentioning it for the song of the summer is because people are bringing it. Like when I ask people, I'm like, oh, what do you think the song of the summer is? And they're like, Taliban's.
Taliban's is it?
Even though it's not huge and poppin', it is one that is like people are talking about. So I'm like, okay, there's something that's got some juice, and also it's a great dancehall vibe. It's very vibrational.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how it grows because I'll say this, like I heard it, I don't go out that often, but when I was here, I knew this was one of those songs that's like, okay, I gotta figure out what song that is.
Yeah.
When I was in Jamaica, you're guaranteed to hear this.
Yeah.
No matter where you go. And you're seeing people of all ages just absolutely lose it. So yeah, I think that's a good one. If you had to choose one out of the group that we named, we'll both put our bets on one song. You choose one, and you can choose from mine or yours, but you can choose one song to put your money on. What song would it be?
If I'm going to put money on it, I think it's going to be Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa?
I think it's going to be Mona Lisa. It's got the Sunflower boost. Remember when Sunflower came out?
What's interesting you said that? That's kind of why I don't think it's going to be that one, but continue.
When Sunflower came out, they were like, oh, wow. It was prominent in the song. It's even in the second movie, right? It was prominent in the movie. Then people are like, oh, this is like actually really good. Breezy. Then, people I didn't even think would be listening to a Post Malone and Sway Lee track were singing the song.
I think that's true. Sunflower is also the most streamed song in the history of music, so we do have to keep that in mind.
So I'm like, Mona Lisa, it's one of the more popular scenes in the show.
Interesting.
People are already talking about it.
You know what? I think the Spider-Man push is something, so that may be it. I think the tempo of Sunflower is what really made it the song it is. Hearing Antihero become a hit, years later.
Yeah, true.
You see that tempo just works once you put the money behind it. So I think that's more what I'm giving the credit to. For me, I put it on the floor again. I want to go with the Lotto and Cardi B track. I'm big Barty, so you're always gonna see me support. But I think Taliban's is probably the actual answer.
Yeah, probably.
I will get the actual reaction when you go out. Because again, you're watching this video, hearing this podcast, you've heard this song and have no idea.
Yeah.
And you don't know who Byron Messiah is. You don't know the name of the song called Taliban's.
Yeah.
But you've heard this song and seen people lose their minds. So Taliban's is still the one that has that reaction.
Yeah. So Taliban's is like the secret, the undercover agent. But I still think, I don't know. I still have faith in Dominic Fike, especially with the album coming out. Like it's just a lot of momentum in his direction. I think.
Yes. I think that vibe for Song of Summer though is different because especially 2023 after the Panzerati, the world is in a very much hot girl summer type of energy.
True.
It's not that other energy.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
And in the spirit of we'll see,
that was a good one.
There is allegedly rumors that Andre 3000 has an album prepared or is near the ending of preparation and is going to drop soon. There was a video circulating on the web. I forgot who was speaking about it particularly. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to X City to go listen to the Andre 3000 album. And people were like, what? And he's like, yeah, he has an album coming out. And people were like, huh? So allegedly, because I'm saying allegedly because it's Andre 3000 we're talking about. He's like the original, almost like the original Frank Ocean, where it's like, you need to put it on, I need to have it in my hands.
Yes.
Then like, you give me the vinyl record. I need a physical copy of it. Then put it inside of the MP, put it inside my car, put it inside my record player or something. And then I need to hear
and then you'll believe it.
The notes coming off of the fucking thing. Then I'd be like, okay, there's a new album out. Until that happens, I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I'm out. I don't believe it.
It's hard for me to believe too. Killer Mike is the one who did break the news.
Yeah, Killer Mike. Sorry, there you
Andre
go.
3000 is on Killer Mike's album, which is a great album, by the way. So it does have some credibility. I don't think Killer Mike would just be saying this. Killer Mike really isn't that type. So I think there's some credibility there. But also, Andre has been well documented saying that he feels like at a certain age,
you should just stop.
You should stop rapping.
Yeah.
And as well, I think we forget about this. And, I don't say Andre's overrated, but I think people love the idea of Andre more than remember his actual music. And his last solo album was not a rap album.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that all these years later, it will be another rap album?
Dude, he's going to be on this album 15 tracks of him playing the flute.
Literally is my point. And so it's like, I think there is some credibility to it coming, but we're not going to be hearing the Walk It Out remix Andre 3000 on this album. It's going to be a lot of Take Off Your Cool with Norah Jones, which I love that song. I love that Andre, but I don't know if all the Andre fans on the internet who are bigging him up are ready for that. They want to hear Pink Matter with Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, a lot more of She Lives in My Lap. So that's my only thing. I do think it is going to come at some point in the next year or so.
Yeah.
I think that this is a real thing, but I just don't see it being raps. I think if say it's 15 tracks, maybe 3 of them would be raps, and then the rest would be, a little more hey ya than anything.
Yeah.
So
I'm extremely skeptical. I'm skeptical of it even existing.
Yeah.
But if it does exist, I would be actually pretty surprised if it was straight rap music. I just don't think he's in that space as an artist. Like he just Andre 3000 is one of those people that has pretty strong convictions just like about like things that he does, his life and stuff like that. And for him to say is like after a certain point, like you just stop rapping. We got to a point where Andre 3000 doesn't really drop music. Like him being featured on a song is like, whoa, did you see that? He's featured on, Tyler the Creator shit, or he's featured on Kanye's, like it's a big deal. So I doubt it's coming. I would love if it did. We would probably review it if it did because it would just be
monumental.
Yeah. But I'm skeptical all around. It's a black box for me, and I think I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I feel like, love the excitement for Andre, but I think again we got to see it. He's in Kanye mode at this point, man. Yeah. Like, and until
Kanye Frank West mode.
Kanye Frank West is 100. Kanye Frank West 3000.
Yeah.
I think that until we literally see it, hear it, it
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, so it doesn't exist.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for listening to the Soundbites portion of Album Mode. Thank you for following us on the Instagrams at Album Mode, TikTok at Album Mode, and YouTube. Thank you for all of the subscribers that again are onto us on YouTube.
Appreciate you.
Thank you to every single one of you. We're gaining, bro. We're nearing we're at like 800 something. We're getting close to 1,000. Thanks to everybody that's watching. We started doing the YouTube very recently, so to see its growth already happening is dope. So thank you everybody for following, subscribing, watching, listening, anything you do with Album Mode.
Thank you. We thank you.
We'll still be here doing more, right? Doing more of this. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And Adriel, make sure you know yourself and know your worth.
Later days.